What is going on, good people? Welcome into the Delmarva Sports Insider, the only live and local show dedicated to giving you all local sports all the time. I'm Sports Director Trayvon Miles.
And I'm Brandon Bossert. Welcome on into the show. Trey, it was such a stressful night for you out there. Big game for your tribe tonight.
No, Brandon, look, we went over this, right? It's win or go home part 2, the great state of Maryland.
Exactly.
And the final week of the regular season in the state of Delaware.
Yeah, and you know what? We sent you out there to take in this rematch. We've been waiting for this for a while. This was one of the best games of the year in the Bayside. We get WiHi Decatur Part 2 tonight. Trey, take it away.
That's right. We'll begin in the Bayside Conference. The first time that WiHi and Decatur matched up in late September, the game was an instant classic.
Absolutely.
88 combined points, numerous lead changes, and one heck of a game. Now, very rarely does a sequel live up to the original until tonight. Decatur, the 3 seed, up against the 2nd seed WiHi in the 2A East Regional. Very first play of the game from scrimmage, Ashton Snellsire looking outside. Malik Leatherberry steps in front of the pass and takes it to the house.
Oof,
Leatherberry had a game. Now, Snellsire responds with his first touchdown pass, and here he gets his second. Luke Marigot going to slip behind the defense and race to the crib. Decatur going to take a 17-12 lead with 7 minutes until halftime.
Trey, that kid is a problem in the red zone.
The teams would trade punts. WiHi gets it down to the 5 with 6 seconds left, and they hand it off. Decatur stuffs it. So the Seahawks go into the halftime locker room up 17-12. Now, when the second half rolled around, the tribe retakes the lead. T.C. Cotman Trader up the gut. 20-17 midway through the third. Decatur looking to answer. The drive stalls. Jake Coleman sends out sophomore kicker Brogdon Eastlick for a 44-yarder, and the kid nails it. 20 all headed into the fourth quarter.
Absolutely amazing. In the fourth, check out this play. Malik Leatherberry gets the catch, puts the defender on skates, rolls 23 yards for the score. Amazing play. You might see that later on. WiHi retakes a 7-point lead with 10 to go. Decatur comes right back, though. Snellsire drops and finds Gavin Solito over the middle. Great touch on the pass. Great catch by the sophomore. We're tied at 27. And then guess what? Solito on the interception right here. 2 huge plays back-to-back. Number 3, Decatur works the clock all the way down and then brings out Eastlick. He hits the 22-yard field goal. 13 ticks remaining. Seahawks 30-27. Last chance for WiHi. Darius Foreman sending up a prayer, and it's incomplete. The 3 seed Decatur walking into WiHi, and they avenge their loss this season. They win 30-27. What a game this was. They are heading to the 2A state quarterfinals on Coach Jake Coleman's first ever road playoff win in his career.
You know, we're built for this. We're battle tested. We're tough. You know, our kids have put the time and the effort in, and, you know, this is the culmination of it. We've had some amazing games this year, one of them obviously WiHi, and all those things we learned. And we just truly believed, you know, in ourselves today. And we had some adversity, and we dealt with it in this game. They're a heck of a team. They got a great coaching staff. They got amazing players. It was what everybody had hoped it would be.
Well, to be honest, my friend came over and said, it's game time. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then going through my mind, just like the nerves and everything. And then I just was like, I'm just going to kick it. And I kicked it as hard as I could, and it went right through.
I love that. I love that, and I love that for that kid. Brandon, first of all, so many things happened in this game, and I was telling you in the office, it's eerily similar to how my high school career ended on that very field. So many things that we hadn't seen been a problem for WiHi was a problem this year. The first one, getting the ball in Jace Freeman's hands. 0 catches on the evening for one of your top players, if not the top player in the Bayside when it comes to outside at receiver. No catches for him. Decatur did an awesome job, give them credit. Also, a bunch of different things, a bunch of eerie things that happened on WiHi's side that just typically does not happen. Darius Foreman really struggled a little bit. The run game for WiHi really struggled. Decatur up front was very physical with an otherwise dominant WiHi offensive line. I think all of that made for the perfect storm to see WiHi's season end tonight. On top of all of that, Brandon, Decatur trotted out a 15 or 16-year-old kicker who comes in and nails a 44-yarder and then
Unbelievable.
nails a game winner with 13 seconds left. I don't know, how you defend that. I mean, Decatur won tonight. The better team won tonight. And WiHi just was not their night.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of stuff happened in this game. Like you said, a bit more contained this time around compared to their first meeting where we saw 88 points put up. I am so impressed by this Decatur team, what we saw tonight, because they suffered maybe the 2 worst defeats in the regular season.
That's
a
right.
1-point loss to Queen Anne's and then a 3-point loss to WiHi. And then they come back the second time around. They rolled through the Lions. And then they came away with a big win tonight, and it wasn't easy. We saw the WiHi defense getting a pick-6 to start this game, but they just kept on fighting. You know what? Brogan Eastlick, what a player.
How about
15 years old, he hits a 44-yarder, and then the game winner.
I don't know how to explain that. On the road, in the playoffs.
And then
Crazy
Jace
stuff.
Freeman, 0 catches. That's absolutely astounding. Great defense by Decatur tonight.
Absolutely.
All right, how about the Bayside North now? They had a big-time rivalry game tonight. North Caroline wanted the smoke after they fell to the Bucks in the regular season. Caroline at their own 15. They fumble it right here. Kent recovers, handing it off to the big man, Casey Heath, now for the first score of the game.
Mike Allstott.
And Kent goes up 7-0. All right, next drive for Kent. And they would fumble it right back. The Bulldogs recovering, and they would take advantage right here. They sure did.
Yeah, why
Mason McFadden going to punch it in right here, and the Bulldogs would miss the 2-point conversion. But you know what? This was a pretty good game early on. Kent back in it.
First one was too.
Yeah, who else but Heath taking it himself for 6 from midfield. Watch the hard running right here. And Kent going to go up 14-6. And you know what? Take a bow, big man. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Great run there. Second half now, Bulldogs strike. McFadden again down the sideline, slips a tackle. Touchdown, North Caroline. And the Bulldogs are within 2. Never count the Bulldogs out in the playoffs.
That's right.
But you know what? That's as close as the Bulldogs would get, as Heath and the offense would put the game out of reach. Kent Island wins this one, a final of 28-12.
And a few more scores on the Maryland side. First of all, shout out to Colonel Richardson. The Colonels are moving to their first state quarterfinal in program history after taking apart Surrattsville tonight in American Corner. Colonel is one of just 8 1A teams still alive in the state of Maryland. How about that? An awesome
and you know
story
what? They
on the Magical
have a
run.
great chance of potentially going a lot further in this in these playoffs.
Yeah, it's an awesome story and a magical run for Coach James Johnson, and that continues. Our other Bayside team in action tonight was Cambridge. The Vikings go to Hartford Tech, and they held a 17-7 lead in that game before Tech reeled off 20 unanswered to get the victory. But great first season, especially in the playoffs, by Cambridge South Dorchester head coach Toby Peer.
All right, let's move on to Delaware now. Smyrna traveling south to play Cape, and the Eagles score on their first play. But here come the Vikings. Keyshawn Mansfield, he is loose. And there he goes.
Yikes.
Cape Henlopen. Your Vikings, they're tied with mighty Smyrna.
Wow.
And they
It's
are
as good as it's
loving
gonna
it
get.
in Lewis.
As good as it's going to get.
Hey, now it's just up to the defense to hold the Eagles' offense,
no,
right?
thank you.
Well, how do you do that when you've got Wayne Knight in the backfield and that offensive line opening up holes like this? How about Ymir Knight now showing off the speed on the 2-point conversion, getting to the outside? As for Smyrna, their defense turned up the heat. Watch number 5, Cole Moyer. There's the wrap, and here comes the pain. That got everyone fired up. And Smyrna just poured it on from there. The top team in Class 3A District 2, 46 unanswered points. They win 54-8. The Eagles finish the year 8-2.
Last night, best rivalry on the lower shore. Delmar and Laurel. The Dogs come out biting. Caden Shockley hitting Javi White on the game's first drive. Laurel out to a super quick 7-0 lead. Now Delmar, not phased, they come right back. Jalen Warner going to get the handoff, and number 12, look at his feet. Kid is just so quick. He's going to get into the end zone to tie us at 7. Laurel would lead 14-9 at halftime. Second half, here come the Cats. Brandon Turner, some tough running inside. 2-point conversion, also good. The Cats take a 17-14 lead. And to seal things up, there's Trent Kemp in for another score. Delmar with the second half comeback to extend their winning streak against Laurel. 6 years and counting, the Cats beat the Dogs last night 24-21.
Whenever you play Laurel, it's always a good one. It doesn't matter if it's 3-0 or whatever it is. It's a good, hard-fought game the way it should be. They're a good, well-coached team. They got talent. They'll hit you. They're just good. That's why they're 8-2. You know, they're a good football team.
All right, and some more scores to get to in Delaware. First of all, Woodbridge. They finished the season 10-0. How
about it?
And they take down Howard 22-6. Got to say, though, Howard is not the same team we've seen in years past. Lake Forest 50-0 over McCain, and then Sussex Tech, they get a 48-12 victory over Odessa.
Sussex Tech is going to the playoffs. Now, we do not have a score from that Central CR game. Neither of those teams are going to the playoffs, so that's why I'm assuming that there weren't many people at the game in Camden tonight. Thank you, Brandon. All right, and Seaford tops Dickinson. Sorry, Brandon. Brandon's alma mater is the Dickinson Rams. They go down hard to Seaford, 47-0. Brandon, you got any analysis about that game?
Trey, we both felt pain tonight, just in different ways.
You know what? You're
your
right.
team, I don't know what the stress is like watching your alma mater go to the playoffs, because I don't know the last time I actually saw them win a game.
Well, look, the cool thing about this is Seaford finishes the year at 7-2. And how about this? Get this sentence and record it. They will await their playoff matchup in the 1A class. That is pretty amazing.
Isn't that great?
Stuff.
The realignment is great for a lot of different schools, Seaford included, because we get to see Seaford in the playoffs 7-2.
Yeah.
That's great to see.
Yeah, that is very good to see. Congratulations to Coach Quillen. So to wrap everything up, Brandon, we saw so much tonight. Obviously, in the state of Maryland, it's win or go home. State of Delaware, there were some guys going home this week as well. The teams that won't make the playoffs, we talked about them. But Smyrna is obviously a team that is definitely going to the playoffs, definitely has a chance to make some noise in that 3A class.
Yeah, Smyrna is everything that we thought they would be this year. They have a dual quarterback in Cameron Edge. They obviously have the Knight brothers in that backfield. And then Devin DeMoe at wide receiver. I mean, this team has a lot of talent on that offense. And we've seen this team go out there game after game, put up points on the scoreboard. But you know what? The defense is playing great at this point in the season. The last 3 weeks, 22 combined points given up. One of those games was against Salesianum, who they might just face in the playoffs. But you know what?
Yeah.
Top two teams in Class 3A right now, Middletown and Smyrna.
Yeah.
They met earlier this season. Middletown got the best of Smyrna early on this season. But as long as the defense continues to play like this, they have a chance against Middletown, potentially in a championship matchup.
You know what? I think the same, because we saw the same thing last year with Sussex Central. They didn't have great success throughout early in the season. When it was time to get down to business in that championship, and they played Middletown, they did their thing. I want to really quickly hit on what we saw at Decatur tonight. A gutty team win by Jake Coleman's guys. You got to give them credit. Ashton Snellsire threw an interception on the very first play from scrimmage. That is enough to get a kid's head down in a hostile environment and get him thinking about a whole bunch of different things except for winning the game. What he did, came out and led his team to victory, cannot be understated. I don't know how many times we said his name in the highlight. We talked about the kicker. We talked about the defense. I got to give it up to Ashton Snellsire. He had a heck of a game, and he led that team to victory tonight. And I also think Decatur has a good chance to advance next week. That offense travels anywhere. As long as those receivers get on the bus and Snellsire gets on the bus, I think Decatur has a shot to do whatever they like in the Maryland State playoffs. All right, that'll do it for the A block. We're taking a quick commercial break, but when we return, not one, but two longtime Bayside coaches will enter the National Wrestling Hall of Fame this weekend. We're telling their stories when the Delmarva Sports Insider returns.
My name is Darius from WiHi, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.